All right, guys, welcome back for another week. We're missing our big leader, our hero, Gabe, but we wish him the best in his current adventures. But yeah, let's start off real quick and easy with what we're playing and what's going on in our personal little world of gaming. Hey Tim, you tell me exactly what you're playing and don't give any hints like your background, okay?
Okay, so I'm playing Final Fantasy XI
Ah.
as usual. I'm playing Sea of Stars, Persona 3 Reload a little bit. But I've really been getting into Xenoblade Chronicles, which is a game that I've had forever. I own 1, 2, and 3. I promised my brother like 10 years ago I'd play through them, and I just can't get into the combat. But I got the Switch 2 and I got the upgraded version of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And I'm far enough now where I feel like I'm starting to enjoy the combat a little bit. Like, I don't love it, but I like it enough to where it's allowing me to have fun enough to go forward. I'm really into the story. But so I think that's probably my big thing right now is I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles.
Nice. And I think standard with most times I've tried to play that game, I probably make it personally, I made it about 40 hours in and be like, "Oh, I'm like probably 1% of the way through or it feels like that." Or, the
Yeah.
combat starts to get interesting, but then a new game comes out and steals my attention. So I'm hoping you can make it past that point.
Me too.
But yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, I'll go real quick. So I finally started playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think I just made it past chapter either beginning of chapter 4 or the end. It's when you first get on the bikes. I just finished the whole bike sequence, which I was very surprised even popped up at all. Like I haven't watched anything about this game because I've just been like waiting. But I've loved what I've loved so far is like graphic fidelity and being able to actually kind of explore different areas a little bit deeper and like seeing some development in characters, even though they're just I don't know why everyone's so thirsty for Cloud, but like it feels like everyone is very thirsty for Cloud. I'm just like, okay, I just want to play the game, man. Why is everyone trying to hook up with Cloud? But it's like I get it, but the thing I haven't enjoyed sometimes, but like thinking about it after, it's not so bad. But like it was just like making it to the slums and being like, "All right, go do these side quests." And it's like, "All right, here's your MMO side quest. Go do the thing." Or like some of them are just they kind of tell you what to do, but not really. And then if you don't go read the quest individually, you can't figure it out quite right. I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. But I was able to do all the side quests there. But then actually sitting there and thinking about it, I was like, well, at least like the current side quests aren't like go back 3 areas, do this one thing, and now come back. I like the fact that you finish a quest, you can teleport back, which is convenient unless you haven't fully explored the area, and then you're sitting there like, well, no, and now you want to teleport back and then you can't. Or maybe I haven't figured out if you can. I was like, that's fine. But I'm also like, I think it's also because I'm real sensitive about my time right now, and it's just like, oh, I don't want to waste 10 minutes running back. But out of other than that, it's been pretty fun. I'm still trying to figure out the combat a little bit. It feels clunky to me, where I'm just sitting there, just like mashing attack and trying to roll every once in a while, and sometimes guard. And I'm still trying to figure out. It's like I know I'm doing something wrong. There's got to be something I'm doing wrong, or maybe I haven't unlocked enough abilities yet, or something. But it just feels a little clunky. I don't mind it because I play Kingdom Hearts and that game's just big old clunk fest. But but like it's I don't know. So far, experience is still positive, still open minded because I like learning more about each of these characters and how they're like kind of evolving them and showing off more of the personality I guess they wanted to show off originally, but don't have time or budget or anything. So that's been cool.
I'm
Uh,
excited to hear your thoughts on it when you finish it.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. I know I've heard they've done weird things, but I've tried not to read anything about it. So we'll see. They're not weird, but trying to introduce like introducing a new soldier was weird to me, and I was like, "What? Huh? It's cool,
Hmm.
but this guy's weird. This motorcycle dude, Roosh, is weird." But yeah, other than that, I've been watching one of my buddies play Kingdom Hearts speedruns. It's made gave me an itch to do it again, but it's hard to commit 2 hours at a time to try and beat a game fast.
Yeah. I'm
But
about to start that not this weekend because I got too much this weekend, but next weekend with the Final Fantasy 13. I'm gonna try to play through it and see how quickly I can get through 13.
oh yeah, yeah. I think the slowest one's going to be the first one. I think the second two are actually way faster if I remember right.
Mhm.
But if you can learn the strategies, like learn some of those speedrun strats, I think you could probably beat it realistically without practicing a whole ton in probably 6 or 7 hours.
That's kind of my goal is 6 or 7. I know that the record is like barely over 4,
Yeah,
and I'm not
exactly.
expecting to get that, but if I can do it in 6 or 7 hours and then get down the strat for the second and third game,
Mhm.
that's the goal, you know.
Oh yeah, for the marathon actually feature all the games.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get through 10 within a reasonable time and then try and do Tim justice and beat 10 too, but we'll see.
Now, are you going to play the newest version of 10 that's coming out?
um, I don't know. Maybe.
Because I think
Whichever
it has
one.
like a speed mode where you can speed up cutscenes and stuff.
Mm. I mean, if it's on PC, sure. I don't mind doing a
I,
little fast forward.
I know it's on Switch too, but I'm
Mhm.
curious if they're going to add all that to the other versions because normally they do that. Like, oh, this is coming out on here, and here's the added stuff, and then
Mhm.
they just update the ones on the other consoles.
Yeah, and I've also, I mean, I've heard I haven't played through 10 on PC completely, but I've heard it's a little clunky or has some glitches here and there, so I have to like look more into that. It might have just been like when it
Okay.
first came out, it had some glitches and stuff, but I'm hoping that if they do update it, give it the speed stuff, any sort of weird things they had, they can fix too.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I look forward to that. And then I don't think I've ever beaten 10-2 technically, so that'd be an interesting one to try and play through during the marathon. But I want to try and see if I can't beat it before, but we'll see. Seven's gonna suck up a lot of my time. But yeah. Okay, Ross, what are you playing?
So, like Tim, I'm also playing FF11. I'm a little bit into Rise of the Zalart. Trying to think of what I can share without spoiling, but I'm now that I'm actually like past like some of the, I guess like more tedious parts. Like, I mean, there's still tedious parts in between, but that's just gonna be like the nature of an MMO. But I'm having a good time. I think once I got past some shenanigans in the Den of Rancor, like, and then I saw this cutscene that explained some backstory stuff that really, really got me into the mood to keep going. Um, Also kind of playing with like two characters right now. I'm cleaning up an old character that I worked on last year, and um, my other character is on another server, so it's interesting, like playing them. I guess not fully parallel, but eventually they will be parallel. Um, Also playing 14 again. Um, I think next week is going to be my final week of reclears for the last tier of Savage, so that's
Ooh,
going to be nice. I won't have to do the um like M4 or M9 to M12S again on a weekly basis after next week
nice.
because I'm going to be moving on to doing ultimates. Uh
Oof.
yeah, like I'm going to be starting Prague on Futures Rewritten Ultimate tonight, I think. Even though I'm missing one piece that is BIS for my character, so I might have to do some like reruns of a dungeon just to get the piece that I need. which is a chess. It's a chess piece for casting from a 7.2 dungeon.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that my retainers are going to be generous and I'm gonna like hit the jackpot on my retainer gotcha because I really don't have to run that dungeon again.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
And of course, I'm Musume, and I keep getting my butt kicked on the champions meetings every 3 weeks or whenever they come out.
Oh man.
Like I get to the final round, and then like I get to like rank A finale, which I want to get platinum on one of the CMs. I've only gotten it once, but it was just like a miracle back in like when I did the Libra Cup. But now we're like recycling back to like the other zodiac signs. Aries Cup, nope. Christmas Ogre Cap kicks my butt.
No.
Taurus Cup, same thing. And then Gemini Cup, the stupid fat Santa Claus ass. I hate Ogre Cap right now. I mean, I like base Ogre Cap, but Christmas Ogre Cap she can go eat a lump of coal. She probably would because she has no end to her appetite.
Dang.
And then yeah, I've been training up my horses for the Cancer Cup. Hopefully it won't feel very cancer.
Oh, jeez.
Although Christmas Ogre Cap is supposed to be meta for this one, and she's gonna be meta for like the next, I think like 5 or 6 or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm hoping to counter her with my other buddies. It's fun, but also like I'm starting to get a little bit burnout on the current career mode, which I think a lot of people are at that point.
Mm-hmm. Something needs to change up a little bit, or the meta needs to change a little bit to make it interesting again.
They need to just nerf that character, and but they also have another scenario coming out. I think within the next month, and that's just like another way of like making horses. But I think the current scenario is still going to be like the best way to make your best ones. Like you still get better stat lines and better like skill selection. It's just yeah.
Dang.
But I got my Oshi though. Like I got my character that I really wanted. I mean, no surprise, like Sweep Tosho, who's like this little like witch character.
Oh, nice.
That sounds like the perfect character that you'd want.
But she's
That's
like
awesome.
super bratty. I'm like, is this what it's like to be Drew Pickles?
That's funny. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I currently have because I was gonna. I mean, I might start playing Schrodinger's Call this weekend. It's supposed to be a short visual novel, and I've heard it's really good. Like, I'm very interested in that. I think the whole premise is like you're this girl who's like who talks to people, then like, like I guess like this little fragment of time between life and death. It's supposed to be like really good and really emotional, so that'll be cool playing that.
Yeah, have to tell us about that. I think
Yeah.
visual novels always sound interesting, but I haven't been able to like jump into one yet. Okay, cool. Well, I think this week we wanted to focus on Evercold. We actually recorded an episode of this, but like weird issues happened. But we actually had Tim got to attend the FF14 Fan Fest where they announced it. So that's got to be real cool to be right there and see everything in person with everyone else. Of course, you might not be able to hear everything with how much screaming there was, but
It was pretty wild.
What do you want to start?
We had a really good time.
Yeah, well, we want to explain a little bit about the Fan Fest experience first, then.
So FanFest, I've been burnt out on 14 for a while, but going to FanFest was like the best thing because it got me like re-energized and wanting to play 14 again. And it was really cool because like I've been to a lot of cons and a lot of different things that cover a lot of topics. And so you might run into people and you're talking to them and you might not like care for the same things, like, but everyone here is here for one purpose. They're here because they like 14. And so everyone you run into, you can talk about 14, the jobs you're playing, where you're at in the game, etc. And so it's a really cool experience to get to make friends and meet people that are playing the game. Like we met a few people that we became friends with, and we're like in a Discord with them now, and are going to do some 14 stuff with them probably at some point. Um, but there was so much there, and it was really cool because the developers are just walking around. So like you see people taking pictures with the developers and everything, and getting to like hear them, see them on stage, and then hear them talk was really awesome. And like it's my first time going to anything like video game related like this. I've never been to like E3 back in the day or anything like that. And so being in the room whenever they like announce the game, like you see it, like when you watch it on YouTube, it's like, oh, this is exciting, and you can hear people cheering usually. But being in the room whenever they announced this, whenever they showed Evercold, and just the electricity in the room, just the energy just skyrocketed. It was a completely different experience. It felt really, really good. And the excitement and the how much they gave as far as information goes, it was really, really incredible. So
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I'm always a little bit jealous, but it's so far away. Isn't it over in LA or something? Like
yeah, it was in Anaheim, yeah.
yeah, it's like it sounds so cool to be in an environment like that. And I've been to cons and stuff, and it's always exciting, but I'm just like, oh man, I don't want to fly all the way over there though. But the online
I'd
experience
love to do it
probably
more regularly.
hmm So
I think that'd be really cool to do as like a group.
oh, that'd actually be really fun. What we need, eventually, Square, if you ever just want to fly out 16 dudes, or sorry, 15 dudes and a girl, we don't mind. We'll attend. We'll do a panel, whatever we got
Yeah.
to do.
We'll,
Even if I got to
we'll do
volunteer
whatever
some
it
hours.
takes.
But
Oh man, hearing people's theories too, like after the trailer dropped and they started talking about the jobs, just hearing people's theories was really, really cool because every single person I talked to had like a different theory on what they think the job is. And that's one thing I really love about it is whenever they start like talking about the jobs and giving hints, um, just the theory crafting part of it. It's kind of the same with like Seven Remake Rebirth with that trilogy is like all the theory crafting between titles. I enjoy that to some extent. Um, but I'm really excited about this and the UI changes and the fact we're getting rid of tomestones.
mhm.
I'm really happy we're getting rid of that because I played 1.0 and then I was in the beta for ARR, so I've been playing this game for a very long time. I'm tired of tomestones, so whenever they were like we're changing it up, that was exciting. That was really exciting to me.
Mhm. Well, I like I like the fact that like it's a different form of currency. It sounds like, from what I could understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it's more of like you earn your currency through the week instead of a little bit daily, and then you can spend that on different things rather than like, these tombstones are specifically for this thing, and you can only spend it on these certain items and these tombstones for these certain items. But if you don't do this activity this week, you don't get all your things. So then you got to go. I feel like now it sounds like it's a big conglomerate where you can kind of pool it all together and then get the one thing you want.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
Wondrous Tales is the base system for it,
Mm-hmm.
which is like I like Wondrous Tales in that respect. Besides like getting screwed over by like Chloe's tic-tac-toe BS shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
fair.
I think it's going to be really, really good. I mean, because also another thing that changed too is like right now the way it currently is if you don't do your weekly tombstone grind, you just lose it the next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you get to go back a week, so you have to get the current week's points, which isn't tombstones; it's a different form of currency. It's a different way to do it. But if you don't get it all this 1 week, you can go back 1 week. Once you gotten this week's current total, you can then get last week's as well, whatever was left over. And I think that's great because like there was times where, hey, I'm traveling for work or I've got something going on. I can't really be on this week very much.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give me that opportunity like, oh, I just got back from vacation or I just whatever. I can then grind and just be like, okay, I'm just going to knock all this out on a Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which I think is great.
No, I totally agree
Um,
with that. That's so cool.
yeah, I just hate missing stuff. And one thing about like online games that always bothers me is like there's always these campaigns going on, and I just hate missing stuff or missing out. So
Oh, speaking of
I'm watching this trailer here, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready for it.
Oh, I know. It's still so far away.
which, Make It Rain campaign's still going for the next couple of days. So if you want an otter backpack, that's going to be how you do it. If you haven't gotten yours already.
I think I already logged on and got mine because my houses were about to be demolished, and so I had to get on to not have my houses be demolished. So,
Fair.
yeah, I hate that system. Like I get you want people to you want to have more opportunity for people to have a house. I think what should happen though is if you cancel your subscription, like well, that probably wouldn't work either because what happens if like there's like a payment issue? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a better way than to be like, hey, you pay, but just because you pay doesn't mean that you're going to keep this house you paid X amount of gil for. Like, if I want to pay for the next 10 years and not log on but keep my houses, I should be able to do that.
Yeah, it's one of those weird systems they have where it's like, I get it, I don't like it, but I understand where they're coming from. Where it's like why can't you just add more housing? Like, why can't we just make it more instant space housing or something? Or it's like everyone can buy this one house, but it's instant space, so you just teleport into your house area and then boom. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out next month and with Berlin's Fan Fest.
If they had new housing in this new Evercold area, and it is what I think it is, if this is like the Norse mythology
Oh
expansion,
man, he's
I'm getting
moving.
a house here. You know,
Well,
I'm selling
like,
my beachfront property in Shirogane into Evercold here.
like the unlimited, or like the not worrying about demolition or whatever. Like that would be like a really awesome thing to hear. It's just like, oh, housing isn't going to be on a lottery system anymore, and you won't have to worry about demolition. That would be.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to figure that out because it's irritating. And I know a lot of people who have been frustrated with not being able to get a house. Like I saved up a ton of gil to get a large house. I have two small houses,
Mhm.
so I saved up a ton of gil to get a large house. But you couldn't. I couldn't find any. I waited forever. And so then I just started like spending my money on crafting or something else. Like I just was like, okay, I guess I'll just never have a large house. So,
Yeah.
but
I think it mentioned like it looks like it might be Norse-ish, and I think that's something I'm excited about mostly. Because I think recently a lot of the stuff has kind of been more futuristic feel, you know,
yeah,
steampunk, aetherpunk, whatever punk it is. But what I'm appreciating about all this is like they're going back to like fantasy, and it feels, I don't know, to me it feels more like a Final Fantasy like 9, where it's like it's more fantasy but still has some technology. They're trying to
mhm.
like tie it all in. But I mean, for instance, I was looking at this screenshot and I was looking at it, I was like, this looks like FF10
Yeah, it does.
a little bit, which isn't bad, but I'm all like, but it also still also looks very fantasy. But I think maybe it looks like 10 because 10 loved putting like lights in the most random things that didn't make sense.
That picture there kind of makes me think of 12 a little bit.
I can see that. So I think it, it might be one of those. It's still high fantasy, but it has the technology because you have to, because you've had it in every other expansion you've had. But
Yeah, see, I've had enough about that. I've had enough of the technology. Like, that's actually one thing that bothered me a lot about this past expansion was, when you get to, I can't even think of the name, like the lightning area, the FF9, like Alexandria type, spoiler alert
mhm.
area. Um, like, just how much technology and how futuristic it is. And, like, I was okay with, like, the Allegan stuff because it was like an ancient people who, that's been like lost in time. But I don't know. I also one thing have an issue with a lot of the raids that are like the most recent raids. It was like they were simulations, and I hated that. Like the Vanity L raids.
mhm.
It's like, hey, I was pumped. I'm like FF11 meeting up with FF14 again. Uh, I'm down for that. But then it was ended up being just like not what I wanted. Not what I just don't like the way that they did it.
That's fair. It doesn't feel like you're actually doing anything. It's just the simulation. You're kind of like, okay, cool. You
Yeah,
know.
just I think it's just easy. Like I get
Mhm.
like they don't want to create like a whole world and zones of FF11 maybe, but I don't know. And it's kind of the same thing with the story of what was this last expansion's name?
On trail.
Dawn Trail. Like with the FF9 stuff where, you know, maybe I'm weird, but I was hoping to get more references to like the characters from FF9. Like if you take stuff from a game that I love, I would love to get more lore between what happened with those characters, and not just like knockoff versions of those characters. Then that's just my opinion. But I'm hoping that this has every Final Fantasy has some kind of like technology. You got airships and stuff, but I just hope that they kind of relax on that and get back to like the fantasy part of it.
Mhm. Which I feel like gaming in general is kind of getting away from the more futuristic stuff and kind of pushing more towards a higher fantasy. Probably not as quickly as I want, but I mean like games like Adventures of Elliot just came out and that's more fantasy. Final Fantasy Resonance is a mix, but it to me it also feels more fantasy than like some of the other games we've
Yeah.
had. And there's like even other, I mean, shoot, Dragon Quest, shoot, there's others, but I can't think of them right now. But you know what I mean? I feel like we are pushing more towards an actual fantasy setting again, which I'm excited for. I hope there's a resurgence of that sort of feel.
Yeah, same. Like I don't mind technology in it, but I definitely prefer like the fantasy stuff. There's a weird exception that I have though. Final Fantasy VII has a lot of technology in it, and it's weird because that's the game that I make the exception for. I don't know. It's kind of weird because the technology in that game doesn't really bother me. But
Yeah.
um, and talking about like the new Alliance raid, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, I love the fact that they've been collabing with all these different, groups, organizations, games, and whatever. But I'm all like, okay, I'm curious how you're gonna incorporate all this, but sure.
Mhm.
I mean, they did it with Nier and all that, and that raid or that I guess Alliance raid's okay. Like it's not my favorite one, but it's cool. It's a good nod. So I'm hoping they do like a good nod to the thing, but still make it fun.
Oh,
I
see,
feel like
I do not like the near raid.
I feel like they have a really good opportunity to incorporate Evangelion into this one. I mean, just based on the little bits of I guess it's like stuff that's in uh, sorry, I need to like collect my thoughts on this, but I know especially with like especially with like Ozma and stuff, like when you're fighting that, like that definitely looks like an angel from Evangelion.
Mhm.
And then like a lot of the giants and stuff in Evercold that they've shown, like I mean, I feel like that could really I feel like they could make a tie-in that way. I mean, there's probably like some other stuff that we'll find out later on, but um and it's gonna be really really cool having like some of the I guess whatever rewards we get from it. I know like orchestrion roles and like hearing like remixes of and like original versions maybe of some of the soundtrack from like Evangelion, and it's gonna be really weird seeing people running around in plug suits though.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I hope it's
Just
really good.
it's like some like Rogan with like a chocobo head on and just like wearing like a skin tight plug suit.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna happen so much.
That's the new aesthetic. That's everyone's going to be like that going forward.
Ugh.
Like feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Well, I'm hoping that's the new Alliance raid. I have a theory, and I hope I'm right about the new 8-man raid series.
Yeah, yeah.
So my theory is because of the timing of the release of this and Revelation FF7. I'm hoping that this is super wishful thinking for me, but I'm hoping that the 8-man raid series is going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake for Part 1, Rebirth for Part 2, and
Mm.
Revelation for Part 3, because the timing would be pretty good. You would have by the time you get to the third one, Revelation would have been out for a while. So I thought that that would be a really cool way to add an 8-man Final Fantasy VII series in this expansion. And if they're wanting to really like promote Final Fantasy VII, this is another way to do it and to get people interested who play 14 but who haven't played 7. Um, so that's just my thought. That's what I'm hoping happens. It might not be anything.
That would be really cool. And honestly, like you said, that would be pretty good timing of it all. Cuz like 7 Revelation would came out probably a few months before the part 3 would happen, part 3 dungeon. But like
Mhm.
that would be great because then it'd be just give another resurgence to 7 slash get people excited for 14, gives people enough time to kind of play it. And like you can still build dungeons without spoiling any of the new story elements they want to add and such.
Yeah. I just think it'd be perfect. And we'll see if that happens though or not. But it's also a way to get people excited because people love 7, so
Mhm.
you want people to be excited for some new 14 content. Put some 7 stuff in it.
Well, I'd probably get some people who only really enjoyed 7 to maybe try 14 also, like some diehard fans that
Yeah.
but who knows? Not in charge. Don't really
What do
wish
you
I
think, Ron?
was, but
What do I think about if we're gonna have 7 as a normal raid?
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Tell me.
I mean, that's a possibility. I also think because it's Norse mythology related, maybe we're gonna get like the I guess like the 9 layers of of like I guess just the Norse mythological world. That's a possibility.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, I have been thinking about the connections to the world tree, like because that was like something that was like really big in like I know they mentioned that like in Heaven's Word with all the different lanners they mention. I think one of them mentions something about a world tree. I think that might have a tie-in with our current expansion, so maybe something along those lines that they do like an original story that's based on that, and you're gonna have to fight, or maybe even like the normal raids are gonna be fighting those giants or something crazy. I don't know. There's I feel like there's a maybe we'll find out a little bit more next month with the Berlin Fan Fest.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
they got to
And
reveal some stuff.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping some of the new job actions are going to be interesting as well. Like I know that in PvP, Black Mage can use um Frost Star on top of Flare Star. But I'm like, man, I wish we had some more elements to work with, and I wish Summoner had the other three elemental representatives like Ramu, Shiva, and Leviathan instead of getting Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like it's like I don't want it to be September. I want it to be January. Give me this.
I
That's
wish
funny.
that Summoner is like my favorite job, and I really wish um, that they could find a way to do more with like what 11 does with Summoner, because I think the 11 Summoner is the best Summoner. I love Summoner in 11. Um, I wish that it was more, a lot of your abilities were more just using abilities with your pet, and it wasn't so much of like you have a rotation for your pets. I wish you could pick a pet and say, this is the pet that I want fighting. I'm using Ifrit. He's out, he's fighting, and this enemy is weak to fire. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that there was more elemental weaknesses in the game, and that you could be strategic in that way. Like, oh, let's get a summoner because this enemy is weak to ice. Let's have him summon Shiva and whatever. Um, I also think it'd be really cool to have Summoner give more buffs. Like, for example, like we were just talking about, the elemental weakness on the enemy. If they, and they're not going to do this, but this is just me wishful thinking. Oh, elemental weakness to ice. Okay, let's give everybody ice weapon. Like that's something Shiva can do. Oh, for 30
Mm.
seconds, everyone's attacks add ice damage on top of what their normal attacks do. Like those are added elements that I wish we would get in 14 to make it more strategic. Because right now, I was okay with what they did with Summoner. That was my main in Endwalker. The more I play Summoner, the more I hate Summoner in 14. Um, because it just doesn't feel like Summoner to me. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah, it would be cool if there were more elements, more like layers to combat instead of just like, okay, you now have your rotation. Everyone do your rotation until we kill this boss and, stay out of bad. It would be cool to be like, okay, everyone, now here, like having like a elemental boss that changes elements throughout the battle and everyone has to like adapt to that in some way, shape, or form, or like the buffers need to like, all right, now ice, like you said, like ice weapon everybody, only to use your ice spells, mages, and like maybe there's some pots or potions that can like give you fire resistance or something like that. So it's actually like you have to prep a little more, think a little more, rather than just like rotation, rotation, rotation. All right, stay out the bad, run away from me. Do like the standard kind of boss things they've done for a long time. I know they try and add little things here and there, but for the most part, it's just like stay out the bad, gather or split is like
Mhm.
90% of it. And it's just learning the order and how quickly to do things while you're doing your rotation. which is fun and hard. I won't lie. Like it's difficult to get a group of people to do that. But even like I don't know, in like dungeons and such, it would be cool to like get to the boss and be like, okay, let me switch up my weapon, let me prep this, let me eat this specific food so I can get buffs specifically for like this kind of thing. Even prepping like that would be fun to me.
See, I love that aspect. I love any type of having to add a strategy or, like you said, like adapting to what's going on. I like that a lot, and there's not a lot of that in 14. I mean, there's strategies for bosses, but it's not the same
Mm-hmm.
as like in 11 or in other MMOs as well. So I just wish that they would add more RPG elements
I
like
haven't seen
that.
that.
And I know they're taking away buffs too. Like they're taking away like all of your damage up buffs and stuff like that, uh, so
I'm
that
kind
you
of
don't have a burst window anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of glad that they're getting rid of the 2-minute meta because
Yeah,
I don't know, it just kind of sucks having to like rely on I like having I guess like having my contribution feel a little bit more independent.
yeah, and it's going to give them more leeway on what they can do with the bosses too. Which I thought when he said that in the presentation, I was like, that makes perfect sense. I like that because right now everything is kind of cookie cutter. To the dungeons, to the bosses as well. It's like the dungeons. It's like you have two large pools. The tank pulls everything. You guys nuke them down. Then a boss. Two large pools. Boss. Two large
Mm-hmm.
pools. Final boss of dungeon. uh, with a lot of the bosses, it's like, okay, burst window time. Okay, now we're in our downtime. I think it's going to be really good for what they can do with the fights. So that has me excited for that. I'm really excited for what they can do with the fights. Um, Another part of combat I'm really excited to see is like the changes to the jobs. It seems like timing is going to be a bigger thing. Like the paladin when they showed it, using your shield ability. I think it was called Sheltron. I don't know if it's still called Sheltron or not, but using that, depending on how well you time it, will determine your counter attack ability. And I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just you use the ability, you want to use the ability at the right time. So it makes you kind of have to learn when you need to use it, versus, I'm just going to use it. Um, so I thought that was really cool. It's like a risk reward thing where, I use it too early, I don't get that reward. But if I wait for the last second, bam, push the button, I did it. I get that reward of the super counter ability. So I think that that's really cool.
No, that would be a really cool element because then you actually got to pay attention instead of just like, I don't know. Sometimes I felt like in some dungeons or some battles, I could literally just watch something on the other monitor while like face rolling the buttons because you get so used to it and stuff. But if you got to like pay attention, wait for the certain move to use this ability to actually do good damage, that'd be kind of
Yep,
cool.
and it's going to change the way combat is. So,
Mm-hmm.
which is good because I mean, I've been really bored with the way combat has been in 14 for quite a long time. It's just rinse and repeat, and I really respect the fact that they got on stage and said, "Look, we've been reading all your comments. We get it. You're bored. You're tired. We don't want you to be bored. We don't want you to be tired of this. We want you to have fun. We want to play a game that you all enjoy and that we'll enjoy." And I really respect that they actually just came out and said that. It was like, "Oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
we made it change because we've been planning this." It was literally like, "Look, we get it. You're not happy, and we want you to be happy." So,
Didn't they also mention that I might be thinking this wrong, but didn't they also mention like your positioning will matter more,
yeah.
which is
They
like
haven't really gone too deep into that, I don't think, but I know that they did say that some jobs, because right now you do have positionals, but they're gonna change it up and see like, okay, um, like your positionals are gonna matter for you to be able to do certain things. Like if you don't do your positional, you can't move on to the next ability, I think is what it is. Now,
they they showed the Dragoon evolved mode where there's left flank and right flank positionals instead of just just like flank. Like there's like more specific flanking.
Yeah. It didn't, Ross, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember exactly, but didn't they say that like if you don't do the flank, you don't move on in your rotation, correct? In that mode.
I don't remember specifically.
See, I can't remember if they said that or not, but I recall them saying like if you want to play it the old way, you're fine. You can just keep going through your rotation. But if you play the new way and you don't do your right or left flank, you don't move on with your rotation. Your rotation starts over. So that kind of goes back to that like risk reward where, if you learn how to play that, the new version of the job really, really well, you're going to out damage uh you're going to out damage the way you would play if you played the normal, like the old way. But there's also that risk of, I didn't hit my position, I'll have to start my combo over type deal. I can't, I could be wrong. That's what I thought they said. But, which I'm down for that.
It will be
Yeah, I
interesting
already
to.
like.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I already like how it is with like Black Mage, where like you have to get in like the 6 charges of Fire 4 or Flare to pull off your like super special awesome attack with Flare Star. So like, yeah, I hope we get more stuff like that. Even though it can be kind of a pain, like be like, oh, I accidentally um switched modes too quickly, so I accidentally pressed despair prematurely. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that.
No.
I think that's needed in the game.
Yeah, I think there should be more little systems like that because I know like does that a lot. Samurai does that a lot. Like that kind of idea of like you build up a gauge and then you use it more often and such. I like stuff like that because you got to think a little bit more about plan out your rotations and such. Um, but yeah, I think we're all excited for it. I might actually play it because it sounds like it's more possible for your average person to play it instead of like you got to grind every day to try and keep up with things. So I'm curious how that'll all work out. But
We'll be in the game whenever you decide. We'll be there to play with you.
yay!
yep.
But I think the only thing I want to touch on today was Adventures of Elliot came out this week. And I don't think any of us have bought or personally played it, but I've watched a few streamers kind of playing it and such. I try not to like watch too much in case I do want to get it. I don't want to be spoiled. But I was trying to see about like the gameplay of it, what it kind of looks like. And to me it looks like a really weird mix of Zelda, Secret of Mana, uh some RPG elements, and I'm just like it's a neat mix and I like the idea, but I'm not sure about the execution of it all. I
I
don't know
played
what
the demo.
yeah, what are your thoughts, Tim, since you actually got some in-game time?
I didn't hate it, but it's not something I'm going to buy day one. Like it's not my it's Zelda. It's Square Enix Zelda kind of to me. So I really didn't I couldn't get invested in the characters. I couldn't get invested in the world really. The combat's not terrible, but I just really couldn't get invested in it, and that's why like my brother is like, dude, it's the greatest thing ever, and I just could not get into it. And so I was just kind of like, I'm not going to buy this. Like if it goes on sale, I probably will. But I didn't have the greatest of time. I would rather spend my time playing other things, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Um, if I have to pick between that and Resonance, FF Resonance, I'm picking Resonance all day.
It's fair. What about you, Ross? You got any opinions on it?
Um, I haven't really been following Adventure of Elliot, so
No,
or
it's all good.
Adventures of Elliot, I mean. But I mean, I might wait for when it goes on sale, but it's like it doesn't seem like it would be my cup of tea.
That's
I
fair.
mean, or not even like, I mean, not like a must buy thing, but I mean, I think once I think once the dust kind of settles and like it may go on sale, like I'll probably be a little bit more like inclined to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have like a lot of other games going on, like 11, 14, and Uma. Like they're all three just so engrossing of my like free gaming time.
That is fair. I think something I do like about it is I have been enjoying the 2.5D stuff, 2.5 HD things.
Oh yeah.
I think that is like the perfect mix where it feels modern, but you still have a great retro aesthetic.
Mhm.
And I love the direction they've been going with that. Like Final Fantasy Resonance is going to be the same thing. So I'm like, cool. Love the look of this. Love the feel. I do want to play the game, but like you guys, I don't know if I want to pay $60 for it just to play it a bit. But I do personally enjoy those kinds of games. Like I loved Secret of Mana, which isn't quite like that. You know, it's like it's a weird mix, like you guys said, like Zelda and all that.
Mhm.
But I do typically like those games. Like I loved Terranigma. I don't know if you guys ever played that one.
Oh, Terranigma's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I love games like that, like the just kind of action slash, sometimes just brain dead, push the button, get through the adventure. But from what I could tell, like from what I've watched, like the story that I did see wasn't super deep-ish, but I didn't get the whole thing. The one thing I will say is they have like a Navi-esque character who's like always with you and seems super obnoxious, like "Good job, you did it," this sort of a thing. And I'm just like, if that's a thing and they're talking the whole time, I'm gonna turn that. I need to figure out how to turn that off. Or it's
Yeah.
like I met Chadley in FF7 remake, and I think you guys talked about how he's like always talking to you later, and I'm all like, please no, please no,
Golly.
and just like,
There
ugh.
there needs to be a button to turn Chadley off.
Yeah, can someone make a mod just to like mute him? I don't mind if text pops up in the bottom and like it's something important that he says. Like I'll read it, that's fine, but I don't want someone constantly in my ear like, hey, did you find this thing? Hey, go over there. Hey, listen, hey.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
That's just
Um,
yeah.
yeah, Chadley, that's a topic. That's a whole video.
We're gonna dedicate a video just to Chadley.
Oh, I could go off about Chadley all day, and I don't hate the character. I just hate the implementation of the character. That's the thing. Is yeah, I hate having that like that character that it just feels like it really feels like especially with Chadley, like they don't trust you to figure out the game. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like they feel like they have to have someone telling you like, oh, and this thing, it's a bird, and this bird you want to do. It's like, stop, just let me play the game.
I call
I don't need
it a dumb companion because it's like a companion that assumes that you're dumb.
Yeah, that's really what it feels like. It's like, show me the thing one time. You know, if there's story behind it, which there typically is, then when we get to like a major story beat, sure, you can talk to me then. But I don't need an exposition like every time I encounter anything in the game. And it really makes me it does make me feel that way where it's like, oh, the player's too stupid to figure this out. We have to have this companion telling them what to do. And I'm like, I don't need that crap. Like, let me turn Chadley off.
Yeah, that
Sorry.
is fair. No. I get it. No, I get it. Because I'm the same way. I know once I get there and start hearing them talk to me every 10 seconds and be like, please. I'll probably go see if anyone could mod it. If there's a mod somewhere to just turn Chadley off. Because that's,
uh, I need to download that on my PC because when I play through it on PC, that's gonna bother me again.
oh yeah. But yeah, Adventures of Elliot seems neat, but not everyone's cup of tea, which is fine. But there are aspects I think we all respect about it, and I do wish it success because I want more games that look like that. Maybe not executed exactly that way, but I wouldn't mind more adventure-esque games like that coming
Mhm.
out.
I'm hoping that with the 2D HD stuff, if they find enough success, which they will, that they go back and they remake 1 through 6 2D HD, and that we finally get Chrono Trigger
No,
remade in 2D HD.
Yep.
That's my hope for it, is that they're like, you know what, we can do this, we can go back and we can make these games again. That's what I hope, and I would love. I was talking to my brother about it yesterday. I would love to see demakes of 7 through 10,
Mm-hmm.
or even 7 through 12, as like a 2D HD game. I think that would be really fun.
That is cool, and that would be fun. It's just one of those things where it's like, do you want to print money? Just do this thing, and you will print.
Yeah.
Like, we've bought in every version you've put out. What makes you think we're not gonna buy this next version? Oh, that's funny.
I own a lot of Final Fantasy. I own a lot of it.
Yep, and they keep
So,
making more, and I keep buying it. So,
and I keep buying.
Oh, that's good. But I think that's about all we want to talk about today. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see y'all next week. Tune in. Marathon's coming up quicker than we think. So that'll be exciting once we get that. Hope to see anyone who's watching there. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Love you guys. Unless you're people we know, then hate you. Just kidding. Anyways. All right, we'll catch you guys next week.
See you.
See ya.